rude talk show host confronts Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, but their response stuns the audience. The studio lights beamed down as the cameras rolled, capturing the moment the audience had been waiting for. The host, known for his sharp tongue and controversial remarks, leaned forward with a smirk. Across from him sat Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock side by side, both calm and composed. The crowd cheered as the host raised a hand to quiet them down. All right, settle down," he said with a grin. "Let's get into it. Keanu, Sandra, you two have been around for a long time. Ever think maybe it's time to step aside and let some fresh talent take over?" The question sent murmurs through the audience. Some chuckled awkwardly. Others waited to see how the two Hollywood legends would respond. Sandra exchanged a glance with Keanu before turning back to the host. "Wow," she said, feigning shock. "I didn't realize we were accepting retirement speeches tonight." Laughter erupted in the studio. Keanu simply smiled. "I think there's enough room for everyone," he said, his voice calm. "Experience doesn't cancel out talent, it helps it grow." The audience clapped at the response while the host leaned back, clearly not expecting such an answer. He regrouped quickly. "Fair enough. But come on, Hollywood is a brutal place. You must get tired of competing with younger actors, right?" Sandra tilted her head. "I don't think of it as competition. If someone is great, they deserve success. We've all been the new kid before." Keanu nodded. "Exactly, it's about doing the work, not racing against someone else." The host smirked, sensing he was losing control of the narrative. "Alright, well, let's be real. You two have somehow avoided scandal your entire careers. How have you managed to stay so boring?" The audience gasped, but Keanu and Sandra just smiled. Sandra leaned forward. "Oh, we're far from boring. We just don't do stupid things on camera." The crowd exploded with laughter. Keanu chuckled. "Yeah, and kindness doesn't make headlines." The host sighed, throwing his hands up in defeat. "Okay, I get it. You two are officially unshakable." Sandra grinned. "We try." Keanu added, "Not really, but thanks." The audience erupted into applause. The host shook his head with a smile. "Alright, I admit it, you guys win this one." As the show wrapped up, the audience gave them a standing ovation. The host had tried to rattle them, but Keanu and Sandra had done what they did best, handled it all with humor, grace, and class. As the applause settled, the host leaned forward one last time, determined to get some kind of reaction. "Okay, since you two are so good at dodging controversy, let's make it interesting. What's one Hollywood secret you can share?" The audience gasped in excitement. Keanu and Sandra exchanged amused glances. Sandra pretended to think deeply. A Hollywood secret." Keanu nodded, playing along. "Something shocking, right?" The host grinned. "Yes, give the people something juicy." Sandra leaned in dramatically. "Alright, here it is. Not all red carpets are actually red." The audience burst into laughter. Keanu nodded seriously. "Yeah, sometimes they're blue, or black. Total Hollywood deception." The host groaned, realizing they had outmaneuvered him yet again. "Oh, come on," Sandra shrugged. "You asked." Keanu added, "And we delivered." The audience roared with applause, giving them yet another standing ovation. The host sighed, shaking his head with a smirk. "Alright, I officially surrender. Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock, ladies and gentlemen, the classiest troublemakers in Hollywood." The show ended with the entire audience on their feet, cheering as Keanu and Sandra waved, still as effortlessly cool as ever. The host had tried to shake them, but once again they had proven why they were Hollywood's most unshakable duo. As the audience's applause finally settled, the host exhaled dramatically, shaking his head with a grin. Alright, you two are impossible to rattle, but before I let you go, let me ask you this. What's the biggest misconception people have about you?" Keanu and Sandra glanced at each other, exchanging playful smirks. Sandra spoke first. "That I cook." The crowd laughed and the host raised an eyebrow. "You don't?" Sandra scoffed. "Oh no, if I'm cooking, something's gone terribly wrong. I burn everything." Keanu chuckled. "She once burned a salad." The audience erupted. The host laughed, shaking his head. "Okay, that's actually impressive. Keanu, what about you?" Keanu thought for a second, then said, "That I'm always serious." The audience murmured in agreement. After all, he was known for his deep, thoughtful demeanor. "But," he continued with a sly smile, "Sandra knows, I can be pretty goofy." Sandra nodded. "Oh, he's a goofball. He just hides it well." The host smirked. So basically you two are just as cool as everyone thinks, but even funnier. Keanu shrugged. I guess you'll have to decide. Sandra winked at the camera. Spoiler, we are. The audience roared in laughter and applause. The host threw up his hands. You know what? I give up. You two are too quick for me. Keanu and Sandra both grinned, thanking the audience as the music played, signaling the end of the show. As they walked off stage, the cameras caught one final shot of them laughing together, proving once again that some stars shine brighter not just because of their talent, but because of their kindness, wit, and unshakable charm.